Well, I was thinking we should. We could stock all kinds of specialty items. You know, cater to some of our more eclectic customers.
Dear sister, we talked about this sort of thing before. We sell dry goods. Nothing more, nothing less.
Okay, okay. Just trying to make this place a little less boring.
Welcome back, everyone, to our 100% playthrough of The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim, Part 5. In this episode, we're going to take a bit of a laid-back approach as we finish up everything we have to do in Riverwood and make our way onto Whiterun, with a potential detour before we get there.
It means so much to us to have the claw back where it belongs. Thank you.
So starting out, we will go ahead and offload all the stuff we got from Bleak Falls Barrow.
Alright, what is it? What do you need? Still here.
So we'll go to Faendal,
What do you
take
want me
out
to carry?
all the stuff we want to sell. Just leave him with at least something that's strong. His specialty is bows, so we'll leave him with that. Take out everything else that is surely way too heavy for him to carry. Leave the woodcutter axe for now, since he's holding that for us. As far as armor goes, it's not a major deal right now. We'll just take all of it. And we do need him to have the skill book. There we go.
You lead, I'll follow.
So now we can't move. And
You
we
and
want
me.
to start selling everything.
Some may call this junk. Me, I call them treasures.
Notice in the bottom right, Lucan only has $752 you can sell to him. So if we hit that amount, let's see how close we get. The entire time with everything we are selling, it is increasing our speech skill in the background. The more valuable the item is, the more it increases. Okay. Grab all the armors. Since we have ours. Okay. So he ran out of gold. Do we still have... Yes, we still have some to sell him. So one trick you can do is you can either buy things to offset the cost. So for instance, if I buy some arrows for our bow, now he'll have an additional $27 that you can sell him again. Or if he doesn't have anything particularly useful, like in this case, it is a good idea to have a backpack early, since it increases our carrying capacity by 75 points. So he has the fine leather backpack, the hunter backpack. Ideally we want the mage one, here it is, since we're trying to focus on magic this playthrough. And if there's anything else he has that is particularly useful, I don't see anything. So then let's keep selling. I normally don't keep any potions unless it's for enchanting or smithing, because you can find potions everywhere. Okay, so we offloaded most of our heavy stuff. And have about $2,100 almost.
Lucky for you, that was just sitting there for the taking.
The Riverwood
Absolutely.
Trader is everything you need in a...
Alright, so now we want to venture out toward Whiterun. I will tell you there are many different ways that you can go. You can take the conventional path down the mountain, or you can take a unique shortcut that I use. I may take just because I don't see a whole lot of people use it. If it will ever load for us. Here we go. So we want to head out of town to the right. Oh, before we leave Riverwood, there is someone we should probably introduce ourselves to, because they may make a guest appearance soon. Into the Sleeping Giant Inn. And we want to check out the innkeeper.
You're that visitor been poking around.
Poking around. You seem
I'm the
suspicious.
innkeeper. It's my business to keep track of strangers.
So she has a bit of the neighborhood watch type of mentality. Let's keep an eye on her and take note of her name. Delphine is one we probably want to keep in the back of our minds for now. And now head on out to
We don't get a lot of travelers here in Riverwood.
Like we learned in the last episode, whenever we run out of stamina, magic, or health gets low, and there's no enemies around, just wait for 1 hour, and it fully restores it, so you can essentially run continuously, as long as there's no enemies around. For my shortcut to Whiterun, I just ride the river, so hop in, grab any fish that you can grab along the way. Remember to come up for air every now and then. Normally, when people take the regular path, it goes right alongside the river where that deer is. And what we want to do is just ride the waterfall. And just let the waves take you. Continue down the waterfalls. Try to dodge the rocks if you can. And you'll notice this is a much faster way down the mountain than just walking or running. Here we go. One more big drop. And you'll know you're there once you reach the bridge. Hop out, and right in front of us is Whiterun. So we basically use that as a shortcut down the mountain. Grab all of our flowers, and continue on. We just discovered Honeybrew Meadery, but for now, I'm not going to mess with that too much since it's going to have its own quest. A little bit down the road. So let's continue on the path. And soon, I believe on the left here, we will notice a commotion. What is going on here? But a giant attacking a farm. Let's pitch in and help out.
Must have scared him off.
So who do we have here? Who's our giant slayers? Someone named
Fight with us
Farkas,
and you'll have
You handle yourself well.
Ayla,
Make for a decent shield, brother.
Shield Brother. What is that?
An outsider, eh? Never heard of the Companions? An order of warriors. We are brothers and sisters in honor. And we show up to solve problems if the coin is good enough.
If the coin is good enough, can I join
Not for
you?
me to say. You'll have to talk to Kodlak Whitemane up in Jorvaskar. The old man's got a good sense for people. He can look in your eyes and tell your worth. If you go to him, good luck.
Okay, so Ayla apparently is leading this group of people that took down the giants, and she activated a new side quest for us to join the Companions. The Companions is one of the 3 guilds you can join, major guilds you can join throughout the game, and there's not much on this giant that you can loot. And you are not able to pick up the Giants Club, but if I remember correctly,
I've got your back.
Fandel?
All right, what is it? What do you need?
No. I remember seeing under a certain circumstance you could have your
Anything else?
partner pick up the club for you. I don't know if that was patched out, or if that is done at a different place in the game. If one of you could comment down below, just to clear that up. We're going to do something a little bit different. This is Whiterun, where the story wants us to go to, but I have an alternate route for us to follow that can help us in the long run going forward.
Fight with us and you'll have stories to tell.
Need a ride?
Come up to your Vasker, if you're worth anything in a fight.
Because we sold all those items, we ended up getting roughly $2,000. So before we do anything, let's hire the carriage to take us to all the major cities in the map. By doing that, we make it much easier to travel around for quests.
Where do you want to go?
So that we can essentially just teleport all over
Climb
the world
and back,
map.
and we'll be off.
So Dawnstar, and each of these cities are roughly 50 coin. So first we discover Dawnstar. Dawnstar does not have a carriage, so we can either warp back to Whiterun, or we can continue on foot to Morthal. That's not too far away. But for sake of time, we will just warp back to Whiterun. And naturally, I'll just speed up all the different loading screens. Okay, we teleport to Pelagius's farm, because we didn't go quite far enough to discover the Whiterun stables. Let's make sure this time we discover it first. So again, there is Whiterun. These stables will be just at the bottom of the sea. When you're out of stamina, wait an hour so you can keep running. And just like that, we're back. This time making sure to discover the stables so we can teleport to it. And just continue on to the next sea.
Where do you want to go?
We already did Dawnstar,
Climb and
Falkreath,
back, and we'll be off.
and we'll see you after
I
the
can't
loading
wait
screen.
here forever.
Okay, now we're at Falkreath, arguably one of the most beautiful regions of Skyrim, with all the forests and different colors throughout the year. And as a standing tradition going forward, I will just cut out as many of the loading screens as I can, just to save everyone time. Okay. The good thing about the carriage driver is, no matter what time of day, he will always be at one of the major cities.
Where do you want to go?
Markarth.
Climb and back, and we'll be off.
And up we go.
Ever been to Markarth? Some say it was built by the dwarves. I don't believe a word of it, though.
Okay, now Markarth is one of the larger areas that has its own stables. And we made sure to discover it. To discover Markarth itself, I believe you have to go in. Now there is a trick we need to be careful of. The second you enter Markarth, there's going to be an assassination attempt on a woman selling goods. In this instance, we want to drop the difficulty all the way down to novice so that we can just about guarantee that we can kill the assassin before he can take out our shopkeeper. Because it is very hard to time it out, especially early game with not that strong of weapons. So let's put on the strongest bow with the strongest ammunition we have at the moment, which would be the steel arrow in this case. Difficulties on novice, and it will be just to your right. You'll see him sneaking up. Just attack him before he gets there. And entering the city will discover Markarth for us. If you fail, entering the city should give you an autosave, so you can just reload at. Yep.
Huh?
Alright, there he is.
Oh, this pendant would look lovely on this.
And we failed, so reload the autosave. As I mentioned, it is lightning quick.
Bit of jewelry for your journey home.
Oh, this pendant would look
Okay.
Die for my people.
run off.
Forsworn are here in the city.
Everyone stay back. The Markarth City Guard have this all under control. There are no Forsworn here.
As you see, you literally only have a matter of seconds to
Need
react.
something?
This was on the easiest difficulty.
Gods. A woman attacked right on the streets. Are you alright? Did you see what happened?
I was right there. He almost killed me.
I'm so sorry. I hope the aid give you more peace in the future. Oh, I think you dropped this. Some kind of note. Looks important.
Do you know anything about the attack?
I was just getting some fresh air. Had one too many pints of mead at the Silver Blood Inn.
Okay, is this your note? What does it mean?
My note? No, that's yours. Must have fallen out of your pocket.
Uh-huh. I see what's going on here.
I'd better get going.
We'll handle things from here. Move along.
Go ahead and take everything from our assassin. Notice he does not have any sort of notes on him to let us know what the motivation was.
Handle things from here. Move along.
And you can talk to the woman that he was attempting to assassinate.
By the gods, that man nearly killed me. You saved my life. Thank you. Here. I was gonna bring this to my sister, but I think you should have it.
As she gives us a free silver emerald necklace. Do you know why he was after you?
No. I don't have any idea. I was just shopping for a pendant for my sister back in the Imperial City.
That man said something about the Forsworn.
I've heard of them. Something about the men who live in the hills and attack caravans. I'm sorry. I don't know anymore. I'm just visiting here from Cyrodiil.
Alright.
Mm-hmm.
Assassination attempt thwarted. And like you saw, even on the easiest difficulty, it is extremely hard to stop with how fast it happens. So now, if we check our map, we can guarantee that yes, Markarth has been discovered. So let's continue our journey around the world. And since we have stables here, we can just use the carriage here. Okay. Anytime you're in a city that has stables, there is bound to be a carriage not far from there. So continue on.
Traveling in the... Where do you want to go?
Well, we're already over here. Let's head on to Solitude.
Climb and back and we'll be off.
And you notice the price is slightly different based on how far it is from where you
Best
are.
hurry it up.
Solitude is only $20, where most of the others are $50. And Solitude is going to be a similar situation to Markarth, where you're going to have to trigger an event inside the city to discover it.
If you've come to Solitude to join the Legion,
Wait an hour when we run out.
if not, just keep your nose clean.
And notice this event does not matter if it's daytime or nighttime. It's still scripted to happen either way.
They can't hurt Uncle Rogvir. Tell them he didn't do it.
Positions.
Svar, you need to go home. Go home and stay there until your mother comes.
Traitor!
Oh! You should tell her that her uncle is scum that betrayed his High King. Best she know now, Advar. You betrayed
All
us!
heart, Vivian.
Get on with Rogvir, you helped Ulfric Stormcloak escape the city after he murdered High King Torrig. By opening that gate for Ulfric, you betrayed the people of Solitude.
He doesn't deserve to speak!
There was no murder. Ulfric
Liar.
challenged Torrig. He beat the High King in fair combat. Such is our way. Such is the ancient custom of Skyrim and all Nords.
Boo!
On this day, I go to Sovngarde.
Alright. There have been many
Guard you were!
I knew it was gonna happen. Let's go far away from people. There have been many YouTube channels out there that have debunked whether or not you can save him from the execution, and turns out even with console commands to remove the headsman, to kill everyone except for the man himself, he is scripted to die. There is no way to save him. Even if you make the headsman disappear, he will get up, attempt to walk away, and have a heart attack. So, it is scripted to happen, otherwise it would mess up other points that people talk about in the city. So, now that we've discovered Solitude, let's head on our journey around the world. Since we've not discovered Winterhold yet, Dawnstar doesn't have stables, so come to the closest one.
Need a ride? I can take you. Where do you want to go?
Okay, we're finally getting all of our major cities finished up. 4 left to go. Morthal.
Climb and back, and we'll be off. It's almost getting downright hot now.
And Morthal does not have stables, just like with Dawnstar, so we'll warp back. Okay, now we are down to the final 3.
I can take you to any. Where do you want to go?
Let's head just up the road to Winterhold.
Climb and back, and we'll be off. Get up there.
Okay, Winterhold should be our last city that does not
They say
have.
Ulfric Stormcloak murdered the High King with his voice.
He did.
Shouted him apart.
Winterhold is the last city that does not have carriage service, so again, jump to anyone nearby that does to get to our final 2 destinations. Okay, this time we'll go on to
Need a ride?
capital of the Stormcloaks.
Capitals. Where do you want to go?
And that is Windhelm.
Climb and back, and we'll be off. Ever been to Windhelm? Oldest city in Skyrim by some account. They say the big old palace there was built by
Alright, Windhelm is going to be a similar situation to all of our other major cities where you have a script event happening the second you get in. And let's see, where is it? It is this way. Way an hour, keep running toward the gigantic door so that Windhelm will be discovered.
Wanted. You eat our food, you pollute our city with your stink, and you refuse to help the Stormcloaks.
But we haven't taken a side because it's not our fight.
Hey. Maybe the reason these Greyskins don't help in the war is because they're Imperial spies.
Imperial spies? You can't be serious.
Maybe we'll pay you a visit tonight, little spy. We got ways of finding out what you really are.
Okay, so as you
hate the Dark Elves. Are you here to bully us and tell us to leave?
I don't hate your people.
You've come to the wrong city then. Windhelm's a haven of prejudice and narrow thinking, unworthy of one such as you.
Looks like the Nords are giving you trouble.
Nothing new there. Most of the Nords living in Windhelm don't care much for us, but Rolf is the worst by far. He likes to get drunk and walk around the Grey Quarter yelling insults at us in the small hours of the morning. Oh, a real charmer, that one. All right, then.
Okay. So, if you're still on the fence about the Imperials or Stormcloaks, you get a glimpse into the underlying racism held by the Stormcloaks, or Nords of Skyrim. However, before going to our final destination with Riften, we actually want to go to one additional area while we're in Windhelm. So if we go down the path to the right, we can go to the boat area, which is the other giant door. Now this area only applies if we have the Dragonborn DLC downloaded. We can go down to the ships, and on one of them will be a captain we can talk to, right here I believe.
Never much cared for Windhelm. The place is depressing.
Sorry, but I'm not looking to hire any more crew.
I'm a lot
right
happier
now.
out here on the deck than I am
Neither of
wandering
them.
around in that ruined city.
If you're looking for passage to Solstheim, you won't find a finer vessel than the Northern Maiden.
There it is. We want to talk to Yarland. How much will it cost me?
I'll give you a fair price. Not many people headed over there these days. If you ask me, I can't blame them. Things aren't what they used to be out there.
Why sail there at all then?
They still pay me for supplies and passage, and I can always use the coin. Still interested in heading over there?
Absolutely, 250 gold.
You've got yourself a ship. We'll cast off immediately.
Alright, and the advantage we gain by booking the ship to Solstheim is that we now will gain the ability to fast travel to it.
Welcome to Raven Rock. Just be careful here. Things aren't what they used to be.
Alright, Raven Rock discovered. So now if we go back to the world map, off in the ocean, we can warp back to Skyrim.
Alan does the business around here. I'm just a ship's mate.
And that throws us right back to the docks in Windhelm. So now we can head to our final city. Right here, the stable is just off of the bridge at the bottom of the hill.
Need a ride? Where do you want to go?
Take us to our final destination in Riften.
Climb and back and we'll be off. If you've never been to Riften, be sure to visit the Blackbriar Meadery. A few mugs of that and you'll forget all.
Okay, and since Riften is one of the major cities with their own stable, there will again be a scripted encounter when trying to enter.
Hold there. Before I let you into Riften, you need to pay the visitor's tax.
The visitor's tax? What's the tax for?
For the privilege of entering the city. What does it matter?
This is obviously a shakedown.
Alright, keep your voice down. You want everyone to hear you? I'll let you in. Just let me unlock the gate.
There is most likely a reason.
You can head inside when you're ready.
Welcome to Riften, home of the Thieves' Guild. Or so they'd have you believe. It's all lies. They're just...
It's no surprise that we are shook down by the guard when we very first came to Riften.
The Thieves' Guild has Maven Blackbriar at her back. One snap of her fingers and you could end up in Riften jail.
As we're hearing from literally everyone.
Hey, you,
get over here. I want to talk to you.
This is a very shady area.
When you borrowed the money, you said you'd pay it back on time and for double.
Sorry. Just thinking about my experiments.
And there are currently dozens of different storylines popping off at the moment. But the one we are interested in with Riften is not the Thieves' Guild yet, but Mjol the Lioness. We want to take her as a wife as early as possible. The reason being, she is the only spouse you can get that is truly unkillable. Ayla comes in as a close second from the companions. However, you are able to kill Ayla yourself. If you attack and deal the final blow to Mjol, she will turn hostile to you. And if you defeat her again, she'll just respawn in your house or wherever they default back to, depending on your playthrough. And then you just continue on like nothing happened. So, if you want a spouse that can go into battle with you, hold things, operate a store, and be unkillable, Mjol was the way to go. There's only one precaution we need to take ahead of time. She does have a man with her, Aaron I believe his name is. We want to stealthily take him out, because if we don't, he will end up, as we just get random quests given to us, he will end up going into your house with the two of you, tagging along. So we need to make sure she doesn't see us kill him, and if she does, we need to wait a few days for her to forget about it. And they are not going to appear till morning anyway, so fast forward to morning. Okay. So now we are back. Mjol stands out like a sore thumb. Very big, Amazonian type woman. Very hard to miss. She walks around in armor. Kind of reminds you of Brienne of Tarth.
Buy some
For all the Game of Thrones fans out there.
New in town, eh? Here for the fishing, I guess.
I don't see her yet. She's usually wandering around the square in the middle.
There's a foul presence coming from Darklight Tower, southwest of the city. Some say the place is home to necromancers.
Balmund.
What are you doing that for?
If you couldn't tell, of all the cities in Skyrim, Riften by far has the most amount of people.
Staying safe, I hope.
I believe that's her over there.
Let me guess. Someone stole your sweet roll.
There she is.
You're a stranger here too, huh?
Always as fresh as the day it was collected.
You're not from Riften.
I've been adventuring across Tamriel since I was a fresh-faced young woman barely able to swing a blade. My travels have taken me from High Rock to Valenwood, elsewhere to Morrowind, and all points in between.
Why are you here then?
Many years ago I lost my blade, Grimsever, within a Dwemer ruin. I took it as a sign that I was wasting my days in search of wealth. You and I are alike. We seek challenge and great fortune. But for me, that's where the similarities end. You see, Riften is my great beast to be slain, and my fortune comes from gratitude and trust.
Buy some armor and live to tell about it. Buying and selling fine jewelry here.
Safe travels.
Never done an honest day's work in your life. I can take
Why would you want to even for now
make some coin? Come find me.
For now, we are ignoring
Some
Brynwolf.
fresh meat to fill your belly, perhaps?
And ultimately, we need to get Miel's sword back for her before she'll be eligible for marriage. And we also need to get the priest to give us the necklace to do the marriage ceremony. He can be found usually in the tavern.
Heed my word.
Looking for work?
The return of the dragons is not mere coincidence. This is one of the signs that Lady Mara is displeased with your constant inebriation. Put down your flagons filled with your vile
I don't have any
liquids,
business with you,
and embrace
so
the
get out of my
teachings of the
face.
handmaiden of Kine.
No, Maramo. We talked about this. Talon?
Kirava, certainly we can come to some sort of an understanding. These people must be made aware of the chaos they've sown.
Enough, Maramo. We've all heard of the dragons and their return. There's no need to use them as an excuse to harass our customers.
Very well, Talon. I'll remove myself from this den of iniquity.
We're not kicking you out. Just keep the sermons at the temple and let us all sin in peace.
Famous last words.
Welcome to the
So let's go to Maramo.
Maramo.
Blessings of Mara
If I
upon
can
you.
interest you in one of our special drinks, you let me know.
I wanted to know more about the Temple of Mara.
Wonderful. Where to begin? Mara is the goddess of love. The temple spreads her gifts by tending to the sick, the poor, and the lost. We also perform wedding ceremonies for all the loving couples in Skyrim.
I could have a wedding at the temple?
Yes, if you were ready, of course. Are you familiar with how marriage works in Skyrim?
I might. Why don't you remind
Typically,
me?
love in Skyrim is as earnest as the people who live here. Life is hard and short, so there's little room for long courtship. A person who is looking for a spouse simply wears an amulet of Mara about the neck, showing they are available. When another person shows interest and the two agree to be together, one of them comes to the temple and we arrange a ceremony.
I'll buy an amulet of Mara. $200.
Here you are. Now, remember, people in Skyrim respond to deeds. You will find more people interested in your love if you help them. Good luck. Mara bless you.
Okay.
May you return to her
So now
benevolence
with
in
our
safety.
amulet of Mara, we want to throw it on and go back to Miel.
I don't have any business with you.
Huh?
There we are.
Visitors like us are rare in this part of Skyrim.
Tell me about Riften's Thieves Guild.
To call it a guild is ridiculous. How can people who would betray one another over a gold coin be considered part of an association? They're the worst kind. Even the Dark Brotherhood abides by a strict set of rules and tradition. These thieves are just rabble. What do you think?
I agree completely.
You know, I'm beginning to respect you. Other than Eren, you seem to be the only other person I've met I might be able to trust. Since we share the same opinion of them, let me warn you that they're recruiting others to join their guild, and you should be cautious.
You're Riften's protector?
It's been difficult. I've taken the burdens of this city's problems upon myself, and I keep running into impossible obstacles. Corruption, lies, and deceit are the order of the day here. If it wasn't for Eren, the young man who saved my life, I think I'd already have given up long ago.
How did Eren save your life?
It was Eren who found me dying outside of a Dwemer ruin. If he hadn't brought me here and nursed me back to health, I would have died. When my strength returned and he told me about the problems plaguing Riften, I decided fate brought me here for a reason. So I stayed.
Tell me about the Blackbriar family.
Maven Blackbriar, the matriarch of the family, represents everything that's wrong with this city. She's bribed countless officials, has friends back in the Imperial City, and freely associates with the Thieves Guild. I've tried everything I can to protect Riften's citizens from her family, but to no avail.
Who else is in the family?
Well, there is Ingun Blackbriar, Maven's daughter. Strange girl. She likes to spend time down in Elgrim's elixirs working on her alchemy. Then you have Hemming, Maven's son. Spoiled brat and heir to her empire. He follows her word like a loyal dog follows its master. And finally, Sibi, the worst of all of them. He's in Riften jail for murder. Safe travels.
Welcome to the Bee and Barb, my lord. If I can interest
Never
you
seen
in one of
Mjolnir
our
this
special
upset.
drinks,
Mjolnir told me
let
that it
me
isn't
know.
this bad everywhere. Maybe one day I'll venture out and see if she's right.
If your allegiance lies with the Empire, we haven't much to discuss.
I don't have any business with you, so
Well
get out
met,
of my
friend.
face.
How can I help you?
Okay, now that we have everything set up to take Emil as a wife, we will unlock the Grimsever quest to win her hand in marriage once we hit level 14. So with everything we have currently, let's head to Whiterun now that we have all of the dominoes in place. And at this point, the minute we hit level 14, we will go ahead and drop what we're doing and go ahead and pick up Mjol with her quest. Now that we have the Amulet of Mara and everything else referring to her backstory covered. Grab all the flowers along the way and let's finally head our way into Whiterun. Waiting till morning just so we're not waiting for people to wake up. At least 8 AM, 9 AM ideally, and cancel.
Hold. City's closed with the dragons about. Official business only.
Riverwood calls for the Jarl's aid.
Riverwood's in danger too? You better go on in. You'll find the Jarl in Dragon's Reach, at the top of the hill.
Okay, but most importantly for us, we mainly just need a way in. And like all the air cities before it, we had to have that interaction to be able
We'll
to
pay
enter the
whatever
city.
it takes, but we must have more swords for the Imperial soldiers.
I just can't fill an order that size on my own. Why don't you swallow that stubborn pride of yours and ask Yorland Greymane for help?
I'd sooner bend my knee to Ulfric's Stormcloak. Besides,
They say Helgen
Greymane
got
would
hit
never
by
make
dragon.
steel for the
One of
Legion.
those horrors comes here.
Have
We'll
it
be
your
ready.
way. I'll take the job, but don't expect a miracle.
So it looks like Whiterun is going to be one of the hubs for the Imperial Army getting all of their weapons. And with that said, now, looking back at our accomplishments today, we have officially unlocked all major holds around the entire map of Skyrim, including the island of Solstheim for the DLC. We've also got the backstory and everything set up to marry Mjol the Lioness as soon as we hit level 14, with us finally ending up in Whiterun for the next stage of our walkthrough series. With that said, we will meet you in the next one as we work our way through the multitude of quests in Whiterun. Likely will be spread out over 2 to 3 different episodes. We will see you then. Thanks again for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe so that you're always informed when these drop.